This week we have talked about God's design and purposes for marriage. We have talked about the church's mandate and responsibility when there's abuse in marriages. And we have talked about how we can define abuse using scripture. Today I want to talk about the victims and their journey through oppression until freedom. In Exodus 3, we see God saying something that should touch us deeply. We hear him saying that about Israel and their suffering. He says, I have seen their misery. I have heard them crying out. I know their suffering, and I have come down to deliver them. Here we can notice a progression in it, or a movement where God sees, God hears, God knows, and God acts. This is at a time where Israel had lived under oppression for years, and it had affected them deeply as a nation and as people, the torture and the oppression they had been suffering from. So when God sends Moses in Exodus 6, they don't want to listen to it. Scripture tells us specifically that they did not listen because of the discouragement of their bondage. But still God did not look away. God did not ask them, why don't you just leave? God didn't question why they stayed there. Instead, he used Moses to encourage Israel, to be a witness of his own presence, to be a witness that he saw them, to give them guidance to protect them, and to confront Pharaoh, and finally to plan the escape of Israel out of Egypt, but also to execute that plan of getting them out of Egypt. And we all know the story about the splitting of the Red Sea. But what happens after? God still has Moses to walk with them. So we see Israel, they are doubting. They are wanting to go back. They are questioning if this was really the right action to do. But throughout this, God remains with them. He provides for them, he teaches them, he encourages them, and he restores them into the understanding of that they are his people. And eventually, finally, they are ready to enter into the land that he has promised them. Not a land of bondage, not a land of control and coercion, but a land where they have agency, where they have freedom, where they have identity as God's own people. Within CADA, we use this biblical framework for when we are meeting victims of abuse. We see it as God has given a mandate. He has shown us in Moses how to walk with victims, how to encourage them when they don't believe he is there, to be present for them. In cases where it is defendable, to confront the abuser, but also to help them to plan to get out of this situation, to help them out of it, and to walk with them through this harsh period of time where they are regaining identity, they're regaining agency, and they're regaining trust in that God is walking with them. That doesn't mean that every person's journey is exactly the same. They're very different. But Exodus still gives us a framework as pastors, as chaplains, as just being Christians to work by. It also gives us an understanding of, a biblical understanding of how abuse actually works and affects those that are affected by it. Because we can just follow Israel that in the situation are not ready to listen, but they get encouraged, they start to trust, they start to see hope, they get the courage to leave, they regain doubt, but they still are encouraged to move on. They are discipled, they are restored, and they are finally led to a place where they can walk as children of God. And though that journey might look different, Exodus gives us a framework where we can understand this. So if you are sitting here today, either as a pastor that has someone in your congregation, as somebody who knows someone who is in an abusive relationship, or you yourself is in an abusive relationship. I want you to know this. God sees, God hears, God knows, and God acts, also in your life. So God sees you. You're not invisible to Him because you are in a horrible situation. God hears you, even if other people have not listened or they have doubted you. God knows. He knows what you're going through. He knows what has happened. And God acts. So you don't have to walk this journey alone. There may be people around you that God can use to walk with you throughout this process. There may come an exodus at a point where you can get out of your Egypt, where you can cross your Red Sea, where you can walk through your wilderness, and where finally you can walk into the land God has promised for you. I want to encourage you with a passage from Isaiah 43, where it says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. This is not promising you that it will be easy or gentle, but it is promises you that you will not pass through the waters alone. It is promising you that the goal is not just survival, the goal is restoration, until you come to a point where what has happened to you, what has been done to you, no longer defines you, no longer keeps you in its cold grip of fear, but that you can walk free. You can walk free in agency and identity as a child of God. May God keep you and bless you.